Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to my channel. My name is T, and this is PNT TV Reacts. If you are new around here, I usually react to trailers and television shows that showcase queer female storylines, and characters, as well as, if requested, television shows that showcase queer actresses as well. But today we have something a bit different. I got the opportunity to sit down with iconic lesbian filmmaker Nicole Conn about her latest feature, More Beautiful for Having Been Broken. And so the following is that interview between myself and Nicole. Okay, so please enjoy, and I'll be coming out with a review of the film very soon after. I also have to tell everyone that because all my regular television shows have gone off air at the moment in terms of having new episodes, it has given me the opportunity to catch up on the edited versions of Batwoman, Supergirl, and Legends of Tomorrow. I have completed The Walking Dead and the L Word Generation Q. So I'm also looking forward to catching up on Gentleman Jack. Okay? I will have a poll running because I want to do a new show in the interim. So I'm going to be putting the poll out on the Discord server. That's the Discord that's available to all my subscribers. The link is in the description box below. So you go there, you are entitled to vote on the poll, and whoever or whatever television show wins, that is the one that I'll be doing. I did, however, run a survey on another group that I participate in, and Motherland Fort Salem won. So I'm starting that particular one right away. So for the other choices, it will be Killing Eve, I believe Killing Eve, Topia Falls, and I can't remember right now, but check it out because by the time this comes out, the poll would be on already. Okay, so without further ado, here's the interview. See you after.
Hi.
Hi, I'm fine, and you?
I'm very good, thank you.
All
Your name
right.
is Tamara, correct? Tamara?
Yeah, but everybody calls me T.
Okay, T, nice to meet you.
Same here. Oh my God. Well, I have to tell you that first of all, I am a big fan, and I have been watching your movies since the very beginning. As you can see, yes.
Yes. No,
It
so we
actually,
both do this. We go to our roots and we go, see? You can
yeah. Look, listen, you can't go to the hairdressers, you can't do anything.
Yes,
So
I
everybody
know.
is being very natural.
This thing so bushy. It's like, I'm going to take scissors to myself soon.
Oh God, no. Well, first to begin with, I had the opportunity to see the film. So I'm going to be gushing soon about that. But, you know, professional like, I'm going to be, let me start it.
You don't have to be all professional.
Well, let me just do this.
Okay. Let's go.
All right. Okay, so filmmaker Nicole Conn has kindly agreed to chat with me about her new and brilliant award-winning feature, More Beautiful for Having Been Broken. So, hello, Nicole, and thank you for, giving me the time to talk about, this wonderful movie of yours during these very difficult times. So I hope you and your family are doing well, first of all.
Yes, thank you very much. They're all staying healthy.
Good. I know that it's been 7 years since your last feature, A Perfect Ending.
Yes.
Now, the time gap, because I think it's your second longest time gap, but
yes.
The time gap, was it to do with your creative side, or was it that it was just really difficult to make this film?
Both of those things coexist. It was very, very challenging to make this movie for a variety of reasons, some of which were financial, but mostly they were personal. I lost my sister, brother, and father within 22 months of each other in unrelated deaths, but they all passed in 2014, 2015, throughout that 2 years. And additionally, my son ended up being hospitalized, extremely ill, and he was so sick that both times palliative care came to me and said, we think you should take him off, support. And between all of those things that happened, I hit the biggest grief wall that I had ever experienced in my life, and it broke me. And that's part of how the film ended up changing, because it broke me, and because of who I became afterwards, felt very, very different than who I had been as I was starting to do the film. And that's also one of the reasons we changed the film from Nesting Doll to More Beautiful for Having Been Broken, because it encapsulated so much of what I had experienced, as well as what I feel like these two leads go through, as well as, the theoretical brokenness of Freddie, who is obviously heals anything that might ail you. So,
Sure.
Which is what my son and my daughter do for me. So.
Well, we'll get to Freddie. We will get to Freddie for sure. But as I said, I saw the film, so I can attest that this is, in my humble opinion, and as I've already said, I've seen all of your work, that this film is by far and above your best work ever.
Thank you. I love you.
No, let me explain that. Okay. That's not to put down any of your other movies, because I own all, but let's just say that, a lot of your movies are great in certain areas, like, you've always been a fantastic, for want of a better word, romantic. Your films make us believe in love. And so you're the go-to director when it comes to that. And there are certain other things that we look for, as I said, as a fan, that we continually go to your films for. But this film had everything as far as I'm concerned. And, it would be easy to say that in some points it could have been clunky, but your pacing actually was superb. And there was so much to unpack in the story itself. You used dance as a huge factor or role in the film. Was this a deliberate thing, or did it just unfold that way?
No, it was very, very deliberate. I just didn't know if it would work. First of all, there's what I call the unknown dancer that we see. We see these snippets and imagery of this dance, and a lot of people think it's Mackenzie's internal, sort of a metaphor going on in her head, but it's really Samantha. We discover later when she discovers her and sees her dancing. But my sister was a ballet dancer in her youth, and I fell in love with the form of dance, the art form of dance, and became a huge, like, dance freak. I watch all So You Think You Can Dance. I even watched Dances with the Stars because it had dance in it. And I was, but So You Think You Can Dance has always been like a mainstay for me. And I love contemporary dance, and that's kind of what we were working with within the film. And in terms of the what I call the blue love dance, which is the love scene, I really, really wanted to do something beautiful and sensual and just really super moving about women love, but inside the scope of dance. And so it was always planned. I just didn't know, as I say, if it would be the corniest, cheesiest thing on the planet, or if it would work. And I think it really works well, and we're all very, very happy with it. And the girls seem to be pretty happy with it too. So I'm very excited about that.
Well, before I continue, I missed a beat just now by just expressing my condolences to you and, what you went through. It had me flabbergasted for a second.
No worries. It was a lot to take in, I know.
Getting back to the dance, though, I agree that for me, the best of the dance, and I follow So You Can Think You Dance from season 1. So I knew Kyla. Yeah. I saw that I wanted her to win, so that's,
That's still a picky thing on me. But the best part of it is the intimate beats that the dance created throughout the film. But I wanted to find out, did Zoe have a background in dance before she did that?
Yes, but we didn't know that when we brought her in. You know, I literally was casting Mackenzie first, and we had 3 really strong television actresses that each fell out one after the other because they got a pilot or they got another feature that paid a lot more than we could or whatever. And so I decided, you know what, I'm going to cast Samantha first. And I had wanted Kayla Radomski so badly for that role. But literally at the time in the business, these actresses were up here and they wanted a known actress to be with her. And I was like, you know what, screw it. I want Samantha, Kayla to be Samantha. So I'm going to cast to her now. I'm going to try to find a Mackenzie with, you know, through chemistry reads with her.
Right.
And we read about 3 or 4 women that were, you know, our final choices. And Zoe was one of them. And when she came in, it was very clear to me that she was Kayla's favorite. And I said, well, you understand that there's a dance love scene in here. She said, well, I thought that's why you called me in, because I used to be a dancer. And I was like, what? No way. Because we were always going to use a body double for her. And it was just amazing. And I said, so how long has it been? She said, well, it's been about 10 years, but I keep in shape and I do, you know, things. But she said, that's how I started my career, being a dancer. So yes, so it was just one of those happy accidents. And then it made the scene so much stronger because you had both of those people in it. And the same thing with Freddie. We weren't going to originally use Freddie, but it's so charming to see him dance that it's like, let's just use him anyway. Because we were going to get professional dancers to do the younger and older Freddie characters in that dance. And it just worked so much better with the people that we had. It was, to me, it was sort of like, you know, kind of unpolished, but really real. So.
Well, the thing about it, and you saying that is amazing to me, because I cannot picture that scene without seeing their faces and without knowing it was the 2 of them. I do not think it would have worked, maybe.
I know.
But it made, and the thing about it is, what's the shocker? And what's going to be the shocker for everybody is that you're known for your intimate scenes, lady. And this was totally different. It had no nudity, really, but it was, if not more intimate, more sensual than perhaps most of your love scenes before, which is what? So, yeah. Good ticks for you.
May I say something about that scene that I've heard from so many straight women and straight men, and not from a tawdry perspective at all. They are so taken by that love scene because it's so delicate and emotional and sensual, and just it sort of touches all of those really super deep feelings that we have when we're being intimate. Without the graphicness. And they were just like, it's the most beautiful love scene I've ever seen. And the men were like, they said, I felt so emotional during it. You know, it wasn't from a sexual thing. It was just, so I feel like it crossed beyond our boundaries into, you know, pretty much everybody who sees it. So.
Well, it was beautifully shot and edited. And, you know, you have 2 titles as the one and the longest kiss. And now, I can say that it is the best dance sequence between 2 women in a movie that I've seen, and I love musicals. So I haven't seen anything better than it. It was really, really fantastic, and actually it pushed the level of quality of the film even higher. So yeah, as I said, I'm going to be an advocate.
Can you just be my marketing person?
Oh my gosh. No, as I said, one of the greatest things that I find about you as a filmmaker is your ability to catch your leads. The chemistry between them is always spot on. It has always been that way from Clear the Moon right down. So how do you do that? What process did it go through? I mean, I know you just explained that, you know, you were supposed to go for Mac first and then you went to her, but what makes it click in your eyes?
Well, the one thing about chemistry is you can't fake it. You know, when you're in auditions and stuff along those lines. So when you do the chemistry read, the thing that you are looking for is how do they spark off each other? What's the connectivity between the two of them on just an organic, natural level?
Yeah.
And then you then you say to yourself, okay, there's enough chemistry here that anything that doesn't work, I can make work, kind of thing. But if they don't have that initial, you know, thing, I won't cast it. I won't go until I have those two people that have that with each other, because otherwise it's sort of pointless to make the film. And because it's something everybody relies on from me, I am very, very committed to making sure the chemistry is really present, strong. And part of that is also, you know, I fall in love a little bit with every one of my leads because they bring something so unique and wonderful to the characters that I didn't see. Because when I write it in my head, I have total control over the way the lines are delivered. I deliver them in my head in a certain way. And then when they read it and bring their own stuff to it,
nuances, yeah,
then they really work on it. It just is mind blowing. So you end up falling in love with them a little bit. So it's easier because you have to put so much work into these films to, you know, pull it all together. And when I say I fall in love with them, I mean the characters that they create, not them.
Of course.
Both of those girls are young enough to be my daughters. So, you know, I kind of felt like a mother to them on the set. But no, the chemistry is always critical. And I really won't go forward until that piece is absolutely solid. So.
Well, as a word that was thrown around in the discussion that I had with my subscribers and stuff, they called it your superpower. So,
oh my God, I love that.
No, I'm literally, I wrote that down. We might tell her what they said.
I've got to get that in a quote somewhere.
You know, it was literally, and I quote, "Can you tell her how she manages to find the most gorgeous women and have the most fantastic chemistry? Tell her it's her goddamn superpower."
Oh my God. Will you send that to me so I can put it on the thing? Will she allow me to use her name?
Sure.
Good.
She actually has I have a question from her. Her name is Chris. So
hi, Chris.
She has actually a really good question for you.
Okay. Okay, Chris, bring it on.
When I get to it. There isn't much more. But before I go any further, this is the part that I am definitely going to talk about Kale.
Good.
Because for me, the cast was fantastic. The acting was spot on. But Freddie was phenomenal. I fell in love with this little boy over and over and over again. I have actually watched the film 3 times.
Oh, I love you. Do you see more things in it each time?
Yes, in 2 days. I watched it 3 times. And I was like, wait, did I see that before? So, I mean, it was, oh my God, I love this boy, so precious. He's literally stole the show for me. And I am a couple junkie. So I go into films looking for lesbian content. I will not lie. But I was like, move aside, you're blocking him. You know, literally throughout the whole film. How did you find him and how did you manage? I mean, was he an actor before? Because his dance was great.
He was a little performer is what I would call him when he first came to audition for us. He was 8. It was in 2015, right before As I Was Falling sort of apart, but we just fell madly in love with him and he was cast immediately. But I was aware when he read the words, he didn't really completely understand them. You know, he kind of memorized them.
Okay.
2 years later, when we shot, he had developed so much, you know, being 10 and a half then, that he was on a completely different level. And he'd done some other performances and stuff as well. And I had worked with him in the summers a little bit doing, you know, these little, what was it called? We had these great little Kale moments that we used to post out on social media. And one of them was when he would ask people to dance with him as he would walk by. And all of that, there's a whole snippet of that stuff in the DVD bonus extras with him.
Oh,
he basically just makes you fall in love with him the minute you meet him, you know? And in that first casting session, after he was done, I picked him up to hold him and hug him. And that's where that line, when you hug him, it feels like you're hugging God. The energy that comes out of his heart is so pure and lovely and wonderful. You just feel elated, you know, touching his little self. And So when he came 2 years later and we were doing rehearsals prior to it, I realized, oh my God, he's got the information down so well. And if there were things that he needed direction on, he was really good. I mean, really good at taking direction. If I'd ask him to, adjust, he would do it like boom. And he had everybody on the crew and cast in love with him because of who he is. He's just so amazingly special. And he's like the most brilliant ambassador to the world for the special needs community from my perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And so he is the heart of this movie. There is no doubt.
For sure.
And it's also incredible for me because also in the extras, you see him and my son together and how their energy is. And it's really, really beautiful and lovely. So for him to play the role inspired by my son was super phenomenal. He really makes that for me.
Well, I was just about to ask if his role itself, the character, was the catalyst to the entire story.
Yes.
Because I know that it was, based as a very close story
Mm-hmm.
to you. And I know, it had to do with the trauma that you went
Mm-hmm.
through. But I do remember you putting out Nesting Dolls, and I was looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know that this came out of Nesting Dolls.
Yes.
So did his character, as I said, had a lot to play in
Mm-hmm.
in the eventual film?
Yes. Oh, yes. He was written in. After we cast him, I rewrote him and made his role bigger. But
Mm-hmm.
I also, after I had gone through treatment and rehab after my whole drama with my all the death and loss,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like he needed to even be more present in the script because literally Nicoles saved my life, and my daughter, because I really just didn't want to live without my sister and my, it was too much.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I really wanted to honor both my daughter and my son in the film because, they basically saved me through it. So, yeah.
Well, it's a miracle that I make these questions. So it is, because the next question is about Gabrielle. I'm just serious. Your daughter played, of course, Gabrielle in the film. Yeah. And she was so natural in front of the camera.
Yeah.
I have to ask, has she got the acting bug? Is she planning on doing something else? Because we've got to see her again.
Yes, I know. She's a theater actress, and she was really serious about theater all through school, middle school and high school. She did all kinds of parts. She got just stronger and stronger and stronger till in her senior year, she had the lead in Chicago, and she played Balmo, where there's a little snippet of that in the DVD bonus extras as well, so people can see her range, And I had asked her, I said, well, what do you think about being in a film? And she's like, well, Mom, I'm a theater actress. I was like,
theater snob.
Okay, snob girl. So here's the deal. If you want to make a living at this, to be a television and film actress gives you tons more opportunities than doing theater in New York. So even though she is a theater major at a school in Connecticut, she once she saw herself up on the screen, she was like, Mom, I want to do this.
Well, she was really, really, really good. And I have loved Gabrielle Christian since South of Nowhere. So yeah. I knew what I was getting with her. But they played off of each other so well.
They were so good together. The scene that I hate that we lost is a scene where they get stoned together, which is in the DVD extras. It was hysterical when they shot that together. Yeah, it's really, really fun. And the two of them looked like sisters, acted like sisters. It was wonderful. It was really wonderful. And I love Gabby because I'd worked with her on She for Me.
Yes.
And I was like, I will work with you anywhere, anytime, ever again. Because she's such a lovely person.
I don't know if you know, because I started having an online female media magazine for a very long time. And well, because of the climate and everybody not really taking on websites anymore, I switched over to YouTube. So now I specifically do reactions and interviews and such to queer female media. So my following, ship everyone. So she is very dear to the queer female community. So everybody knows who she is.
Yeah.
And, you know, and make no mistake, your lead.
Yeah. Yeah.
That Australian soap has everybody in a twist. So everybody knows who she is.
Yes, they do. I told Zoe and Kayla, I said, get ready, because there's nothing like a lesbian fan.
Oh my God, you have to get them at clicks at some point in time.
Yeah, I know.
The thing about it is, you were talking about the DVDs and all the extras you were getting, but I have been bombarded with this question from everybody.
Okay.
The DVDs are sold out, and I don't think that even Wolf expected that.
I don't know if they knew it was going to be so intense, but you can get the DVD right now directly from Wolf. You can't get it on Amazon right now because we are sold out, but you can get it on the link where they can go get it, because it's directly through Wolf.
Okay.
And, so they can get it directly that way, and they have plenty of shipment there. It's just what happened at Amazon is sold out because it was so popular, which is awesome.
Yeah, because of the fact that I had planned when the DVD came out that I would have a watch party with my followers. Yeah. I don't show the film, but everybody has their own copy. And so, I love it. So somebody goes,
May I do a Q&A for you after that?
Oh my God, that would be fantastic.
I would love it. That
would be fantastic. Yeah. Oh my God, I'll definitely let you know when we're having our movie night, because, well, it's been put off a little bit because those girls didn't get their copy.
Sure.
Because they had pre-ordered. Everybody had pre-ordered, but they haven't been able. We're told that it was sold out and whatever. Yeah. So I would definitely give them.
I'll give you the link so you can give it to the girls. So
that will be fantastic. Super. Because they've been going crazy.
Yeah.
It's a rivalry now. Who hasn't and hasn't have oh my God,
on Twitter, the girls are all like, I have mine. Well, I don't have mine, and they're crying.
I love film, and I thought this film was visually, there's no words. Stunning is just a tiny of what it was. I have never seen any of your films. I mean, did you luck out on the DP or what? What went on?
No. Well, yes, I had a wonderful DP, and we decided together, I bought him Russian glass for his camera. And that Russian glass adds a layer of, like, it's hard to explain, not technically, but it adds like a layer of density. So it gives the film even a more lush, intense, beautiful look.
It's almost as if you're watching it in 4K.
Yeah. Well, you are. It was shot in 4K.
Oh!
And that's part of it. It was shot in 4K and finished in 4K and colored in 4K.
Okay.
But the other thing is I shot it for the large screen because I wanted people to see the dance and all that visual stunning stuff that we have. From my first AD let me borrow his drone for free when we did reshoots, so we were able to get all those beautiful shots of Zoe running against the isolated landscapes and stuff along those lines. And when people see it on the big screen, that dance especially, it's fucking knocks you out of your seat. Ooh.
Oh please, let me just explain. My channel is for adults, okay? I cuss all the time. It's a part of. I don't think any Caribbean person does not cuss. We call it curse.
Film person not cuss.
But yeah, because I mean, I have one shot in the film that I was like,
which is
at the very ending, or almost to the very ending, when you were showing the snow peaked, and you were coming in from the water. That's it. That's my favorite shot of the entire film. Well, other than the girls, of course, but that's another
Yeah.
story. But as far as, so it was really beautifully shot. What I want to find out, first of all, going back a little bit, because when you first started, the landscape of queer female cinema was practically non-existent.
It was non-existent, basically.
Right. We had to scavenge through rubble, and we took what we could because that was all that was available. But now there's an influx on the market.
Yep.
Every filmmaker, every creator, every producer, Hollywood is doing lesbian or queer female content. Do you like the progression of the visibility, or do you wish some would choose quality over quantity?
Well, of course, you always want quality over quantity. And that's one of the things that we're actually, first of all, traveling with the festival circuit, I saw the demise of the festivals for women's films. They are really struggling getting women in the seats. And I believe part of that is because we are everywhere. We have assimilated, we have integrated. We are on every television show, every sitcom, every TV hour-long drama. There's a lesbian. We're token everywhere, and we also have our own shows. Gentleman Jack, Orange, the new L Word, reprisal from the L Word. All of those things feed our community, and they feed our community on the screen in our home. And because we don't go out and watch movies anyway, a very small person. Well, but statistically, we do not go to films.
Right.
So the festivals have really dramatically changed for women's film content. And what I've discovered by traveling was hearing so many women saying, we're not getting the films we want. We just want dramatic, romantic love stories. We don't want to, be politically informed, or we want good entertainment that makes us feel. And so what I'm doing now is creating an entirely new funding model for lesbian films that don't only support me, but other people involved in the filmmaking industry globally. We have about 25 women in all different countries who are working with me to create Nicole Conn Films Global, which is going to ask the lesbian to look at their pocketbook and say to themselves, what can I afford so that I get a good film every 1.5 to 2 years on a regular basis that's a quality that I appreciate, and that ensures me that I have films still that are by, for, and about women. Because there are films also being done that are being done by men, and I don't have anything against men, but they don't tell our stories in the same way that we tell our stories. So I have created a lot of partnerships with a lot of well-known lesbian entities that are very excited about this model, and it essentially is a hybrid of subscription, donor, cash for credits, and investment. And so I'm hoping that lesbians can look at their pocketbook and say, what can I afford? Yeah, I can afford $1.99 a month to make sure that I get a movie, ultimately in a couple of years. And so I'm hoping with sheer volume and different, subscription rates, that we'll be able to fund something that's always in development, always in production, and always in post-production, so that we can continue to build our library.
Well, I'm not going to interrupt you, but that almost sounds the same as if, say something like me, I'm on a platform called Patreon, because unfortunately from the Caribbean, no matter how large my following or my subscriber is, I get no revenue from YouTube. That just isn't possible for my rep of the woods. So I go on Patreon, and there they can, for rewards, donate or subscribe to different content that I can do on Patreon. So supporting artists and filmmakers and YouTubers, and we further reward, like a signed DVD or a few words out of the script. So I know that will definitely work for sure. I mean, I'm no filmmaker, but I was a writer first. And since I always liked film, I, always writing a script and throwing it to the side until I got the opportunity to do a couple of short films a few years ago. And I did my first feature screenplay. And we were this close to making, and then the funding fell out. And
Oh.
at the time, there was just like nowhere to go. So, I've stuck it in a drawer, and I've just tried to support as much filmmakers as I possibly can. Because down here, we've just gotten it off the books as being illegal in my country.
Oh, wow.
Because being gay was illegal.
Yeah.
And 2 years ago, we got it, officially off the books. But making queer film in my country is impossible to do.
Yeah, I believe that.
Right. So
see, here's the situation like yourself. You've got a script. What we're trying to do is support lesbian artists at the Nicole Conn Films Global. We have a project in there, for instance, it's about 2 women who are Formula One race car drivers. It's got a working title of Racing Hearts. And I have an Indian actress who's a Formula One racer who will star in that. What we're trying to do is do a co-production deal for this film. And I want to hire a director who's a young up-and-coming lesbian director who does rom-coms. And so we would be supporting that director. You submit a script. Let's say there's somebody in our global coalition that loves your script, then we can support your script through that way. And that's one of the things that we're trying to do is we want it to become sort of a destination hub for lesbian artists who may want their artwork in one of our films, lesbian, designers.
Music and yeah.
Yes. Lesbian wardrobe people. We're trying to basically support lesbians in the arts through the Nicole Conn Films Global piece, and that's where we're going to be unveiling that website in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So
that'll be
hold on one second in case it's my son's doctor. I'm so sorry.
Sure. No problem.
One moment. No, it's not. Good. I just wanted to make sure because we're trying.
Of course. Okay, so let me just finish it so I wouldn't hold you any longer. We were talking about, having the films and everything. You touched on the fact that, they want to turn away from the politicized dramas that they're pushing.
I couldn't say political. It's more like, what is the cause du jour? And it's whatever the cause du jour is in our community or an unrepresented component of our community, like trans or Latin America was huge in the festivals this year. So it becomes that, and that's what those festivals sort of need to do. They need to constantly be on what is going
evolving.
on.
Yeah,
exactly. But what's happened is that they've lost a great deal of their female viewership because of that. And I don't know why that is completely, but I do believe it's because we're so integrated and we can get our content at home.
Well, a lot of, as I said, I have a ear to a lot of ordinary women who still, would you believe, literally starving for content, even though there is a lot of content, because some of them, they fall into the tropes.
Yeah.
And a big deal with a lot of queer females is, why put them on screen if you're going to A, kill them, B, let her leave for a man, C, I mean, there's so many tropes they keep repeating.
I know.
So, and they've stuck us in certain genres. There's no action films. There's no sports films. So, these are the films that will get people's butts in these seats.
I know,
for
but
sure.
Here's the thing. When I was with Marina, when we did Elena and Adana and Perfect Ending, after those, we wanted to do an action film. But action costs money. And it's so hard to raise the $250,000 for these films as it is. What are you going to say?
Well, my script was an action film. And I always say...
Do you have any idea what the budget is for it?
Yeah, actually.
What is it?
50,000.
How much?
50 for exactly what I would have wanted done. I always say, if you have a great script, you can have an action film without all the bells and whistles.
Got it.
Because a lot of the action was hand to hand.
Oh, got it.
So there weren't great explosions. And when you're writing on a budget, or you're thinking of writing on a budget,
I know.
You get very creative. And I love action. So there are a lot of, I'm not the only one, I know a lot of writers, and they love writing fandoms. We take characters from movies and how
okay.
we wanted the film to be, or how we
got
wanted
it. I love it. That's perfect.
how we wanted, things to end or could progress or whatever. And I'm lying, but some of those, they're very, very, very good. I would make some fantastic movies. So if you've created a platform, I don't mind giving my film because you're seeing it made. You understand? You have a lot of writers, a lot of women who just want to work on a film and they're willing to give the time instead of so much wanting the compensation.
Right.
That, there is. It's just that I don't think that communication or the avenues to get to people who do those things, there's anywhere for us to go. So in having something like that you're developing would be a fantastic idea.
Yes, we're all really excited about it, and all my partners involved in it feel like the timing for this is now, and they haven't seen this done before, and it will be very, very supportive of women in the arts who are lesbians. It's really about supporting our community and putting them in front of every feature that we do. And are you familiar with NCFF, my Nicole Conn Film Family Facebook group? Inside there is where we're going to be doing a lot of our research and development. And that's why we've been asking women to join. It's, we're going to ask them what kind of films they want to see. We're going to do surveys, who your favorite actresses, all of those sorts of things. And also to let them know, they get first dibs as people who want to try to come out and be a PA on the set, or, they want to work with the designer because that's their background, things along those lines. We really want to support the women in the community who they're just passionate about filmmaking, and there's no other way for them to be involved or plug in. And this is a way that they can do that. And this is what happened with More Beautiful. The 8 women who I had from around the world at that time all came to the set the first 10 days and worked with me up in Pine Mountain. And so it's wonderful to have that kind of loving support of this lesbian group be involved in a project like that, because it's such hard work. So you really, really want people around you that you trust and you love and
Of course.
So.
Well, I finally found the question.
Oh, for Chris? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Chris, I'm ready for you, babe.
Having known that you're such a great storyteller and that you literally have your pulse on what we want to see, have you ever considered doing a lesbian TV series?
Yes. Yeah, have. I would love to do a really high-end lesbian drama soap. Would love it.
Because I mean,
love it. I would love to do a different kind of L word. At some point in my life, it would be really wonderful. Plus, I've always wanted to do the lesbian bachelorette. That is something as a romantic, except for I wanted to do it with a woman who's just coming out that hasn't been with a woman, meets 10 of our sort of types of lesbians, like a real butch, a real femme, the punk rocker, the this, that, and see what ends up happening. I just think it would be a shit ton of fun.
That would be a hoot.
Yeah. Well, so that is probably going to go inside this thing as well for either a web series or something along those lines. And do you remember Mary Jane Wells? I want her to be the MC, like the Chris Harrison, because she's so hysterical and fun. So she would be like our announcer MC, and then I just think it would be a hoot. So I'm trying to get that together, and I will try to find another production entity to do that with me. So
because as far we have, should I say we, but my corner of the community has our go-to directors, creators of television. On the English side is Sally Wainwright.
Yes.
On the American Canadian side, I don't even have to explain who is our queen, our lesbian Jesus, who has given us such great films as Lost Girl. And right now she's doing Winona Earp. And you know how we went to bat for Winona. So that's what happens when you mess with good content.
Yeah.
I wanted to find out though, just one question before the last one, which is, I know this like asking what's one of your favorite children you like, But if it was somebody new, someone new that stumbled onto this film and wanted your top 3 of your work, what would you name it as your top 3?
Little Man is the best documentary I've done, for sure. More Beautiful is my favorite feature, but that's partly because it's so much about my own kids. Elena Undone, A Perfect Ending.
I'll tell you what.
You know what? It's so strange. Claire of the Moon still remains so many people's favorite.
I did a survey on what's our top 5, and that's everything. Claire of the Moon was number 1.
Really?
Really?
Wow.
Then it was The Man.
Wow.
She.
Whoa.
A Perfect Ending. And then the other one. But I was like, what?
I'm really shocked because most people like, the weird thing though to me is I found out, okay, we are not getting to our entire community, because on the festival circuit, people loved Elena Undone, hadn't heard of Perfect Ending, loved A Perfect Ending, hadn't heard of Elena Undone, yet all of them knew Claire of the Moon. Every one of them knew Claire of the Moon.
Yeah.
So it's kind of mind-blowing to me, because I feel like Claire was really clunky in many ways. It's old filmmaking style, and it was my first.
I don't care. It's my go-to thing when I'm sick. I put it.
Oh, I love you. I love you. But I do, after the first 25 minutes, I really love the film. I just don't like the first 25 minutes. It's very clunky and just hard for me. It's like I just want to go like, oh my God, Nicole, why did you fix this? Or why did you fix that?
But so. I have to say though, for us who've seen More Beautiful, well, that is number 1.
Thank you. Thank you. I do think it's my best film.
It is all round acting, cinematography, the beauty in the women. Hello. Dancing. It had everything.
I think all the women I've cast,
yes,
among them.
Oh, yes.
Although I do have to say, working with both Zoe and Kayla was so wonderful. They are two of the most delightful, real, down-to-earth girls you would ever want to meet. We had so much fun playing. I mean, we just had so much fun because they're so wonderfully sweet. But I've had pretty much that experience with all of my leads. They're all really exceptional women, all of them. So,
well, we've loved them too.
Good. Okay, so who's your number 1 favorite character? That's a survey we should do.
Definitely. I mean, I know who it is. I know who my favorite is.
Tell me.
For sure. Would you believe it's almost Max? It's almost. But I can't pick Freddie, can I?
Oh, yes, you can. That's great. I love it.
I mean, it's like he just won.
Yes, wonderful. I'm glad to hear that, as he should. He's pretty darn exceptional.
Well, I have to end by saying, what do you want everyone who see this film to take away from it?
The number 1 thing I want was visibility for our kids. I'm sick of my son being invisible to people. Like when you go into a store or you go into an elevator and everybody just sort of looks at anywhere but at your kid. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that the assumption that our lives are full of burden and challenge and, oh my God, I feel so sorry for you, is just complete and utterly not right.
Yeah.
The best gift I've ever been given is my son's birth and the experience of going through that, because it changed me to be so much of a better person than I was before then. Between my daughter and my son, they made me a completely different person. And Nicoles especially, because he fought for his life those first 5 years. The poor dude. And now he just turned 18 in March. And he's still very, very small. He's got, short stature, but he is the sweetest, funniest, most loving little dude. And it's kind of like in the film where she says, most people wish I had a normal kid. No. There's nothing better than the experience I've had with Nicoles. So that's what I want them to take away from it. Plus, I just have to promote our next film, which is Do We Not Bleed? and I'm about halfway through the script, but we all know the whole story. It's a very, very dark movie, but a very, very, very intense love story.
But that's a change. You doing a dark movie.
It's dark, but it's still going to be beautiful.
Of course.
A little more edgy than my normal fare because of the subject material. But yeah. So.
Well, I just saw one of the other girls wanted to find out just one thing. It's more of a question. I didn't even notice. I had to watch it on the third time I saw it. Was it you, or did we see things? Were you in the background scene where Viv and Max were in the restaurant? It was you. She spotted it right away.
In each of my movies, and they said, "Hey, you haven't done your cameo yet." And I was like, "I don't want to do I'm all gray. I'm like so tired." I said, "Whatever you do, just don't do a soft focus in the background on me." So yes, your viewer is very good. That was me. Yes.
Oh, she spotted you immediately. She was like, "Wait, hold on." And we were like, "No, it's not her. She didn't do one this time. Calm thyself. No, ask her."
Right. She's right.
I had to ask.
Yes.
You could. You see, they pay attention. They pay attention. Well, Nicole, this has been such a joy. And I just want to thank you so much, even with all the rushing in the beginning, that you sat down with me during this horrendous, weird time that we are having.
I know.
So
it's surreal, isn't it?
For real. And I want to thank you, though, because a lot of your fans are going to be like, "Yes, thank you. I'm going to be such a hero this evening," for the link for the DVD. And I will let you know when we are having our
Will you please contact Mona and let her know so that I can do that? I would love to.
That would be fantastic.
I would love to meet these women in the Caribbean who do film night. I just love that. That's wonderful.
Well, it's not only from the Caribbean, because I have all my subbers or all my members from all over the world.
Super.
So who don't really have to hide.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them have to hide to be able to even get to see. Right. So yeah, and I have this Discord isn't for my paying members. Mm-hmm. This one is for women who don't have the means, but just want to be able to see themselves. Super. And sometimes I even send the copies for them of movies that I have bought, so they can watch along with me as well. So
yeah, that is so sweet of you. Love it. Yes, I would definitely want to come and join you guys.
Oh, that'll be great. That'll be great. I'll let you know as soon as possible. So as I said, thank you so much.
Thank you, T. I really appreciate it. And I love getting to know you. I really do. I love your energy. It's just marvelous.
Well, you never know. I might actually take you up on when you start the website. I might actually chuck in my script one of these days inside and see what happens.
I wish you would. You should, especially if it's an action film, because we don't have them, and that's something we do need to have.
Yeah.
So, and especially if you've been able to budget it at $50,000.
Yes.
That is freaking amazing. So yes, absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, T. Really appreciate it. Mwah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So that was a very enlightening conversation that I had with Nicole. And so I just want to thank her again for sitting down with me and having a most pleasant chat about her latest venture. I will be putting a link so that you can be able to buy the DVDs directly from Wolf, because it's sold out on Amazon. So you can simply follow the link. It's in the description, and go as fast as you can, because it's selling like hotcakes. Other than that, it will be up for streaming in most streaming networks come May. Okay, I'll put the date for that as well. Okay guys, if you've liked what you've seen and you want more like this, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and of course hit the notification bell so you can get the latest in all my content. And of course, please comment, tell me what else that you would like me to do in the interim where everyone has been quarantined, or in some countries it's stay at home. Some countries it's just total lockdown. But I hope you're all doing well. And please, please, please protect yourselves. Use the mask. Wash your hands. Do what you need to do. And of course, maintain, please, the social distancing. And let's all work together to get this horrendous pandemic under control and out of the world's grasp. Okay, so until next time, guys, I bid you adieu, farewell, bye bye, and have a great day.